Hello and welcome to a fresh episode of Soccer Talk with Mumini Alao. My name is Tunde Kweki, your regular anchor. And of course with me, as always, is Mumini Alao himself. Thank you so much for joining us.
My great pleasure, Tunde. Yep.
The biggest transfer news of the summer so far occurred over the weekend when it was confirmed that Everton and Manchester United have reached an agreement for the sale of 24-year-old Romelu Lukaku from Everton, of course, to Manchester United. It was a big surprise for a lot of people because the thought was that Lukaku was going back to Chelsea. He had a point to prove. But somehow, some way, they snatched him from underneath the noses of Chelsea, gazumped them, a lot of people believe, and he ended up he will definitely be ending up at Old Trafford having passed a medical. Just what do you think about that decision? It surprised a lot of people actually. And how much influence did his agent have on him?
Well, Tunde, I don't think we should talk about surprises when it comes to transfers. Because already you have so much speculation, in this transfer market.
So let me stop
in fact,
you there.
I think...
Yeah, the reason I'm saying it's a surprise was everybody thought that Manchester United were going to buy Alvaro Morata.
You said everybody, but I didn't think so. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is, look, we get to read a lot of speculation concerning transfers, but I don't get carried away personally. Okay. I wait until the deal is done.
And the players hold it up
the jersey. Absolutely. You see, because in fact, some of the stories that I get to read, I know a lot of them are just pure fabrication. Yes. I'm a journalist, okay? And I can see
how it works.
When I read some of these stories, and I just know that some smart guy just sat in front of his computer and he just typed up the story without talking to anybody, and all of us start talking about it. So that's why I say I don't get carried away until I see the player signing the dotted lines. Coming to the issue of Lukaku, of course, the moment Zlatan left Manchester United, I knew that Mourinho would be in for the best striker in the market. Okay? So I'm not surprised that he eventually got Lukaku. And I think the fact that Rooney was available to go to Everton made it possible ultimately. Okay? Because it was just more or less like a swap.
Not entirely.
Not directly. But what I'm trying to say exactly is, look, you can have Rooney, and we can have Lukaku. 75 million pounds, that's a lot of money.
Which might rise up to almost 100 million pounds.
Absolutely. Now, when you talk about everybody thinking he was going to go to Chelsea and all of that, don't forget that he actually left Chelsea the first time. He was a Chelsea player. And that means inside of him, he could have been saying, look, you threw me out the last time. You didn't think I was good enough. So why should I come now?
He asked to
so
leave.
That could also be a factor in Lukaku saying, look, let me go into new territory, which Manchester United offers him. So, and I think don't also forget that Paul Pogba, who happens to be his very close friend, is already at United. So
and they share the same agent as well, Mino Raiola.
So why are you surprised? So when you talk about surprise of Lukaku going to Man U, I say I'm not surprised.
24 years old, 6'3", one of only 5 players to have scored 50 Premier League goals before his 23rd birthday, the only foreign player to have scored 80 Premier Leagues before his 24th birthday. The stats are incredible. But can he follow in the footsteps of the likes of the legendary George Best, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Robin van Persie?
That is going too far, Tunde. You have already given us the stats that show to us that, look, Lukaku will deliver when it gets to Manchester United. He's a striker, and he will get the goals. I think we can say that confidently to an extent because he has a power, he has a good head, he shoots with both feet. So what are you looking for? So of course you know he also played under Mourinho when he was at Chelsea the first time. So I think it's a good coming together for both of them. I'm expecting a lot from Lukaku when he gets to Manchester United. In the case of Rooney, it's like going back home for him.
After 13 years.
It's another interesting story. He's always been an Everton boy, and he made that confession after completing the transfer. He said, look, I've been sleeping in Everton pajamas for the last 13 years. So which means his heart never left the club. But also, his stats are also there to show that, yes, because a lot of people are now asking whether we can consider him as a Manchester United legend. I think
559 games for Manchester United, 256 goals, the greatest ever goal scorer in the history of Manchester United.
So, how do you qualify to be a legend if you don't have the kind of stats? I think he's already a Manchester United legend. In 5-10 years, when you talk about the stories of the highest scorers in Manchester United, Rooney will come on top. So irrespective of how he left or whether he was sleeping in pajamas or stuff, nobody will remember all of that. They just look at the stats and say, okay, the highest goal scorer in the history of Manchester United, highest goal scorer for the England national team is a legend already.
Finally, before we go, Lukaku, is this a big miss for Chelsea? Because they do need a striker, considering the fact that they're not sure whether Diego Costa will stay or go. The manager wants him to go, but this is a big miss.
Well, could be, but of course we still have a lot of time, for the transfer market to warm up. So I think they have the money. They will eventually get the kind of player that they need, I think.
Interesting. You might say Robert Lewandowski or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the colours of Chelsea. You never say never. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Mumini Alao, for your time.
My great pleasure. Let me just add quickly, Tunde. My wife is a Man U fan.
She's
and
happy
my son Abdul Muiz is also a Man U fan.
Okay.
Both of them, they are already missing Wayne Rooney because Muiz grew up to know Wayne Rooney as a Manchester United legend. Okay, so for him, he's missing him already.
But they're happy about Lukaku, though.
Well, I guess over time you will get used to him as well, But Rooney, I think a lot of Man U fans they won't forget him.
Yes, they won't forget him. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Soccer Talk. We'll see you again some other time. Bye bye.